Hey, what's up, you guys? This is Sheila Bila, and I'm coming to you with another review of Tyler Perry's Zatima. This is season 1, episode 3, and the episode picks up where it left off last week with the SEC lady grilling Zach until he cannot be grilled anymore. But Zach hanging in there, he holding his own, and she pulled out the picture of the senator's wife asking Zach, "Do you know her?" And he was like, at first he seemed like he couldn't get it together, like he was kind of gonna, fumble the bag. But he was like, no, no. And she was like, so you don't know her? And he was like, no, lady, I don't know her. And then then she said, so are you sure you don't know her? And he's like, I don't know that lady. And so she asked him, so why are you giving her luggage? He said, I work at an airport, ma'am. I give everybody their luggage. That's what I'm supposed to do. And she said, but you don't know her. He said, no, I don't. I help people with their luggage all the time. And then she says, well, I didn't see her giving you any money. He said, okay. So wouldn't that make you upset? And shouldn't that make you remember her? Because apparently a person not giving you any money will help you remember. He was like, no, because it happens all the time. Why was why was her face so scrunched up really tight? Her face was so tight, it looked like the tip of her nose was almost inside of her top lip. I said, girl, can you breathe? Like, can you relax your face muscles? It was almost comical. It was almost like she was just trying to hold her face like that. And it was, it looked like a meme almost, But Zach didn't give in. Zach was like, no, I don't. Do I need to call my lawyer? Do I need to, and do whatever? And she was like, see, that's what I'm saying. You're going to jail. And so she gets up and she opens the door and say, come get him. And Zach is looking like, what? Nobody is coming through that door. And then she gets upset. She said, most people are scared of me. Most people, I guess use the bathroom on themselves because she intimidates them so much. But I'm like, girl, how you intimidate somebody with that voice? First of all, and then with your face looking like that don't look scary. That look like you trying hard to be somebody mama. Anyway, so he was just like, well, no, I'm different. I know I don't know this person and I'm confident. You're that confident. Yes, I'm that confident. And then she goes to say that he's street smart and he has a little, I guess, common sense, book smart, so that she says people like him they think that they can get away with things. And he's just like, okay, so what do they have to do with anything? And then she says, well, she spoke with the senator's wife, and she said that the senator's wife said that she don't know Zach. And Zach said, I know Zach was like, whew, because when she said, I spoke with the senator's wife, and he was like, ooh, and then she said she didn't know you. He was like, ooh, and that was good. So he was like, I told you, you are not going to find anything. I'm good. And here she goes, yeah, I'm going to close this case, but I'm going to open it again once I find something on you. I'm like, girl, can you and your voice in your face please leave? And Zach like, okay, all right. And she packs up her stuff. She goes out the door. Zach, do you want some water? Are you good? And so as soon as she shuts the door, Zach with his tight pants get up, close the door behind her, and then he just passes out. He's like, oh, I know he just wanted to say, thank you, Jesus, I'm free until now. So I thought that was pretty cool. So Zach is excited. He's happy. Fatima comes through the door and she's tired because she's had a long day at work. So she's sitting down talking to Zach, and Zach he gets her house shoes for her and he rubs her feet and he said, I know you. I know you had a hard day on your feet, and, talking about her feet, and he like her feet and all that stuff. And so he tells her, the SEC lady came by today, and she was surprised because apparently she didn't know that the lady was coming by. And Zach was looking all sad, like it was gonna be a low blow. But then he was like, but she dropped the case. And she was like, oh my God, they were so happy about it. They were, celebrating and whatever. And then the doorbell rings. When the doorbell rings, they're like, oh, we got to do this paternity test. So the baby mama walks in with the baby. The baby is asleep. And she's like, oh, how y'all doing? And they like, okay, yeah. So are you ready for this paternity test? And so, no, first she says, so do you want to hold your baby? Do you want to look at him? He was like, I see him. he right there. And then that's when Fatima was like, well, I want to hold him. I want to see him. And in my head, I said, Fatima is finna get ready to swab that baby. I already know. So Fatima gets the baby, goes all the way off into the corner by the stairs, and she's just holding the baby. And that leaves the baby mama and Zach time to kind of talk. And Zach was like, she said, you don't want to see your baby? He was like, I don't. That's what we're here for. We're here to do a paternity test. And then she brings up the fact that my private investigator did some digging and told me that you own the property next door. So you should just let me and your son live here rent free. He like, no, I'm not letting you do nothing. And also she said that she wasn't paying for a paternity test because she really ain't got no money. And Zach was like, well, I can pay for a test. That's no problem. And then she said, well, she not giving Zach a test until he pay child support. I said, girl, please put the cart before the horse. And he was like, I'm not giving you anything. You can really get up out of my house. And so Fatima comes back over and she gives the baby. Give me my baby back. Shout out to baby boy. So she gives her the baby back and talking about she not giving no test. And then Fatima is like, remember when I pushed your head through that wall? And she was like, oh, so you threatening me? And she was like, you already know. Don't play with it. You know what I'm saying? Because please don't. You already know. So she ends up getting upset. She walks out and she leaves. And Zach is like, come on, Fatima, you can't just be doing all of that. You know what I'm saying? You got to calm down. Now how we going to get the test? How we going to get the test? The swab. How we gonna get the swab? And so she reaches up under her shirt and she was like, I already swabbed that baby. He was like, you did? So I'm like, yeah, I already swabbed her. What you think I was over there doing the whole time, Zach? Because I was just like, it made sense. The girl was talking cold hard cash money, like she was gonna do something. I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, the way that Fatima is set up, she's not gonna just let you talk however you want to talk. So she let her run her mouth while she over there swabbing that baby, getting all the DNA that she need. And so she went ahead and swabbed Zach's mouth real quick. She said, I work down there, at the law firm. They got a lab and I can get these tests in 36 hours. So they dapping it up. High, low, bam, bam on the black side, and that's cool. So Zach tells Fatima, what you about to do? She said, I'm about to go get my hair done. So she gets her hair done. She goes to the shop. And Zach, he's with Bryce. And they're about to take a run. Yeah, dog. Fatima said that she don't trust Bryce. And he like, for real, still? You still don't trust Bryce? And she was like, nah, I don't trust him. He worked down there with Gary. I still gotta, feel his vibe. I still gotta check it out, And so they're running right now. This is Bryce and Zach. So they're running through the neighborhood and Zach brings him to this place. And first they start talking about the SEC stuff. He said that he did good. He passed with, flying colors, and she dropped the case. And he said, good. He said, because normally she's she intimidates people. And he was like, well, she couldn't get me. It is what it is. So then he said he thought about going into real estate, flipping houses. And Bryce looks over at the house and is it me or wasn't that house on Sisters that Hayden lived in? That looks like the house that Hayden was living in on Sisters, because Fatima bust all the windows out the car and tore up that man's house. That looks like his house. Leave it in the comments if that's the same house. But anyway, so Bryce is looking and he's just like, oh, that's Valerie's property. And he's like, Valerie, he was like, yeah, she's the, the real estate person. I know her. I can, send a call to her and let her know that you're interested in, flipping the house. And Bryce was, and Zach is like, oh, okay. Dang, you know everybody, huh? He was like, well, I'm kind of out there a little bit. And Zach is just telling him, like, okay, well, that's cool. And then he brings up the fact of Gary's office. He said, do you think Gary's at the office right now? And he was like, well, I don't think so. Not that I know of. It's kind of late, so he shouldn't be there. And Zach wanted to go to Gary's office so he can think about having his office of his own, so he can work his deals. He want to be more professional. He wants to look the part. He's trying to transition into becoming a full blown businessman, which is really, really smart, because this is the great evolution of Zach. So he was just like, yeah, we can run over there, because Zach was already complaining about the run. He was already like, you know what? Oh, I'm tired, child. I've been walking around. But anyway, he was like, boy, do you ever stop running? He was like, well, it's okay to run. You'll be all right. You can make it. So they run on over to the office. So back at the salon, you have Fatima. She's walking in. And as Fatima is walking in, you have Belinda. She is walking out. But before she walks out the office, Belinda, she stopped and they have pleasantries. Hey, Belinda. Hey, girl. What you doing? I'm doing fine. So you good? Yeah, I'm good. And everybody is kind of looking like, yeah, we just finished talking about you, and you walked in right when we was talking about you. So Fatima is the butt of the joke, right? But Fatima don't know it yet. She ain't caught it. She's just thinking something is going on with Belinda, and Belinda is trying to, I guess, cover up her feelings that she's still mad that Zach ghosted her, and come to find out, she still got feelings for Zach, which we pretty much already knew. All right. So Belinda leaves out, and then you have the other hair assistant guy. I can't remember his name. And he was kind of, I'm gonna call him just messy, because they kept saying this shop is messy, this shop is messy, and that dude was messy. So Messy like, okay, bye, bye, bye. And Belinda, bye. Okay, bye. So everybody leaves out, right? So now everybody's focus is on Fatima. So they look it and they kind of giggle. Fatima is like, what's the joke? What's going on? Let me in on the joke. Everybody got something to say. And they like, girl, you been coming in here a lot to get your hair done. She said, well, shoot, yeah. I've been coming in here to get my hair done. They said, no, you've been coming in here like every week getting your hair done. Like, dude is blowing your back out like that. And she's just like, I mean, well, yeah, it's cool or whatever. So now Belinda then went in there and told everybody about Zach and how Zach is, and that Belinda messed with Zach. She messed around with Zach a couple years ago. And mind you, they said that Belinda still wants Zach. She still wants him. Like, she wants to be with him, which we pretty much already knew. And she act like she ain't gonna stop until she gets Zach. And so Fatima is just like, that's my girl. I don't think that she'll do that. And Angela is like, hopefully she won't do that. Let's just, but, and then Fatima is like, well, if she, how she is when she get to drinking, then, they're just going back and forth about how this girl is, and how she is. But then Fatima is like, well, how I am when I'm fed up. So they was just like, well, yeah. Well, hopefully she won't go there. So everybody is hoping that Belinda won't try to test Zach and test Fatima. All right. So they make it to they make it to Gary's office, and Zach is looking around. He's like, whoa. He's like, these are like goals. This is something that I really want to do. I really want to do this. Can I afford to do this? Will I be able to obtain something like this? And so Bryce is just like, you know what? You can pretty much do whatever you want. The price range in this office building is a bit expensive, but I can find you some cheaper spaces, that are nice as well. And Zach is just like, okay, cool. And then Zach begins to tell Bryce how much he appreciates him. He said, I don't know what I did in my life to meet somebody like Fatima and to meet somebody like Bryce that helped him through all of this stuff. And he is very, very happy. He's very overwhelmed. And you can tell like he has this drive in him that he just want to be fulfilled in life. And that's cool. And then they start talking about Angela, and Bryce lights up like, oh yeah, so you do like her. He was like, yeah, she's a beautiful woman. I do like her, And so they were, yeah, no, they were saying that, it's time for him to go home, take a shower. And as they were leaving out, they were saying they was funking up the office because, they've been running. And Zach is just like, oh, you don't like my funk. You don't like, my funk or whatever. And so he picks him up and walk on out. But back at the hair salon, Fatima and Angela are sitting under the dryer, and they are still like in disbelief. And so Fatima is like, do you really think that Belinda is going to try me? And Angela is like, I really hope not. And Fatima said, well, you know how she is when she have a couple drinks in her, when she gets drunk. And Fatima thinks about it, and she said, where do you think she went? Child, she done went to your house to go get your man. So you need to get up from under that dryer so you can catch her doing what you think that she gonna do. Anyway, so Zach gets back to his house from running with Bryce. All of a sudden, a car pulls up. I said, for it to be so late at night, these people have so much action going on. Like, y'all taking runs, which is fine because a lot of people take runs at night. But y'all going to office buildings. You got real estate people going, taking pictures, making deals. I'm like, what time is it? Did the time change? Like, what time is it? Because it seems really late. Anyway, so Valerie, I said, ain't Valerie? I think it's Valerie. She pulls up and she's taking pictures. So but this time Zach doesn't know that that's Valerie, the girl that Bryce was talking about. So she's out, she's taking pictures. She's like, oh, this is a beautiful property. And, do you know who lives here? And is it vacant and all that stuff? And Zach is just like, yeah, it's vacant. And then she says, well, oh, he said, are you looking to buy? And he said, well, Valerie said, well, I have to, take that up with the owner. And he was like, she said, are you the owner? And he just kind of looked at her like, yeah, or whatever. And so I was just like, Zach, why is it? I really didn't understand when she said, can you show me the property? Maybe because the other side isn't finished, but why would you bring this woman that you don't know into your home? I don't get it. Like, you already know that you and Fatima are trying to build trust and all of that, but I kind of wouldn't have brought, I don't know. I guess I would have did it in the daytime. Say, can you come back in the daytime with my girl here or whatever? Well, I don't know. But Zach, he's new to this and he just want to be friends with everybody. So anyway, so they go into the house. She's looking around the house. She's like, oh my God, this is beautiful. He called her Shady Val because she had made the comment like, this house is too modern to be in this neighborhood. But she told him that she would get a good deal. She could sell it for 1.5 if he's looking to sell. If it's that half of that condo for 1.5 and you sell that other half, dang, Zach, I would have been like, sold, get it, sold, or something. But anyway, so she's walking around and then you can tell he starts saying, yeah, me and my lady, we live here. She was like, oh, your lady? He was like, yeah. She said, are you married? And she was like, well, no, I'm not married. I don't have a ring. Yeah, dog. No, I'm not married. I don't have a ring or anything. But, that's my girl. We together. And then she said, looking at him up and down, talking about lucky woman. I said, here we go. Everybody wants Zach. You know how they say everybody hates Chris? Everybody loves Zach. Everybody want a piece of Zach. And Chad, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the thug slash businessman, a little grimy, a little sexy, a little smart. I guess it's a nice gumbo pot that he is made up of. But anyway, so knock, 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 knock. Who's at the door? Nobody but Belinda comes in. Oh, so what are you doing? And she talking to Valerie like Zach is her man. And how you doing? What? So they going back and forth. And he like, okay, thank you, Val. Oh, don't worry about her. Don't worry about her. All right, Val. So Val goes on out the door. And Belinda comes in like, and Zach is like, what are you here for? Fatima is not here. And Valerie, I'm not here for Fatima. Well, who you here for? I'm here for you. Child, when I tell you, Belinda done opened up her shirt. He like, you need to button up your shirt. You know, don't. And he's trying not to touch her. So he got his he got his hands as far away from her body as possible. So at first, she goes up against him. She jumps on him. He was like, get off of me. Wait. He said, because they was like dodging each other around the table. So she's like chasing after him around the table. And then he's like, well, I'm going to call Fatima. She said, you can call her. I don't care. She under the dryer. She ain't going to answer. So he puts the phone back in his pocket. They're going around. And then she gets him and jumps on him. So he's not trying to touch her. He's just kind of bouncing up and down to shake her off of him because she hanging on like this in this picture. And while he going up and down to drop her off, she told me, oh, I like this. Oh, I said, girl, Zach, this woman is too little for her to be hanging on like you. Can you get her off of you, please? So he gets her off and she falls on the couch, right? So falls on the couch. Oh, you want me to get on top? I'm like, girl, are you so desperate? So he gets her off her, he gets her off of him, and then he runs upstairs. I said, Zach, why are you running upstairs? Why? This girl, if she'll run around the table to chase you, she'll jump on you. She jumps on you like a little, I don't know what type of animal, and then gets on you. So you don't think that this girl is going to chase you up these stairs? So as Zach is running upstairs trying to get away from Belinda, like, go, please, go. He keeps saying it over and over and over again. He gets up the stairs, looks over to his right, and who do he see? Fatima, still with her hair with them rollers, and she ain't even dry from that dryer. Dun, dun, dun. Next time on Tyler Perry Sisters, it's gonna be some mess. This is Sheila Billy. Y'all like, comment, and subscribe, and y'all have a great day. Bye.